Hello, everyone. My name is Tomasz Adamski. I'm software developer. I work in Red Hat in Wildfly EAP team. And my talk is called What's New in Wildfly 9? So I would like to give you an overview of new features that we are going to introduce in the newest release of Wildfly. But to start with, I would like to say a few words about Wildfly itself. What actually is Wildfly? Well, Wildfly is an application server. It formerly was known as JBoss application server, but we have changed its name so that our two projects, Community Edition and our commercial offering, have more distinguishable names. Before the change, we had two projects, JBoss AS and JBoss EAP, and it was a little bit confusing to which project we are relating to. So now we have two projects, Wildfly, the Community Edition, and JBoss EAP, on which we are building our commercial offering. Those projects are related, as Wildfly is upstream for JBoss EAP, but they serve different purposes. Whereas the goal of JBoss EAP is long-term stability, the goal of Wildfly is innovation. So we are trying to introduce all new innovation with frequent releases. So we are trying to add all new features, all new trends that are needed by our community at a quick pace. So if you are looking for some new features, some new stuff, you should look to Wildfly. Wildfly is an open source project. So it means that the code is open. I will show you the link in the reference section. And whenever you are using our server and want to look how something works, how something is written, you can directly look into the code and find out. You can directly debug into a code each time you have access to all the code. And what's more, Wildfly is a community project. It means that all decisions, all discussions happen in public. So if you would like to know how new features are designed, you can always go to our mailing list, mailing groups, and read the discussion, take part into discussion. Everything is open. And what's more, if you only wish, you can become a part of our community. We welcome and encourage every contribution, whether it's only a small bug report or a whole feature implementation. All contribution is highly welcome by us. So if you only wish, you can become part of Wildfly community. Yeah, and we are releasing the new version, the Wildfly 9 version soon. And this is the topic of my presentation. So let's start describing new features. I would like to start with HTTP2 Protocol. We are going to support HTTP protocol in the newest release of Wildfly. I will show you how to configure it. Just a quick few words about protocol itself. This is the new version of HTTP protocol. The goal of the protocol is to improve page load time, but with no changes to web content nor network infrastructure. So it means that protocol addresses shortcomings of previous versions of HTTP protocol, but infrastructure stays the same, so it runs also on TCP. You don't have to change your web content, as it also doesn't have to be changed. And also it uses the same semantics, so the request format stays the same. The same requests sent between client and the server. So the only thing that changes is the way how requests are sent between client and the server. And so the main design points are following. First of all, you get the possibility to use one TCP connection to send multiple requests that are multiplexed in this connection. So you no longer have to use many connections to achieve concurrency. What's more, those requests are prioritized, so most important requests go to client first. I'm sorry. What's more, headers are compressed. This wasn't possible in previous versions or if previous versions of the protocol. It also can be a big performance update. And there is also ability for the server to push resources to client before client asks for them. Yeah, and it can also improve latency, as client don't have to wait for a server don't have to wait for the client to send some resource if he knows or suspects the client would need it. So those are the major points of the protocol design. I would like to show you how to configure it with WildFly and Chrome browser. We have to do two things to configure WildFly with HTTP2. Those two things are the following. Well, first of all, you have to configure encrypted connections. Why you have to do it? Well, most major browsers, and Chrome included, have decided that they will only support HTTP2 with encrypted connections. One of the reasons why they decided to do it was that they wanted to push usage of encrypted connections as a good practice, and change of such big protocol was a good trigger for that. Anyway, Chrome is among those browsers, and if you want to configure HTTP2 with Chrome, you have to have encrypted connections. There is also another issue, as HTTP2 uses TLS extension called ALPN. What it means is that what it is an extension that is used by TLS protocol to negotiate a protocol used in application layer. So mostly you shouldn't be concerned about it. The problem is that this extension is not supported in Java 8. It will be supported in Java 9. Now, if you want to, now you have to add it manually. So, okay, let's move to, I will show you the configuration. Okay. HTTP2. I have Wi-Fi pre-configured so that I don't have to perform all the configuration during the presentation. Okay, first of all, as you see, there is ALPN jar. This jar can be downloaded from Jetty web page. I probably wouldn't be able to do anything about it right now. Okay, so I can only show what. Okay, maybe I will try to change the sizes. Edit current profile. Is it here? Appearance? No. View. It was in edit current profile? Is it this one? Oh, okay. Now it's okay? This? Thank you very much. Okay, so as you hopefully see now, I have downloaded ALPN jar, and I added it to bin directory. I have to also okay. I have to also add this jar to the virtual machine that is executing the code. And as you see, the bottom line has xboot class path option that adds this jar to virtual machine. Basically, classes from this jar would be loaded before the classes from runtime. Anyway, this enables you to add the extension to virtual machine. So that's the first thing that we have to do. Secondly, we have to change server configuration. Okay. So we have to add security realm. So please look at HTTPS security realm. Security realm is our way of configuring security for listeners. You can configure things like authentication, authorization, and SSL identity there. But I configured it in the simplest way, so I will be only I only configured one-way authentication in which server identifies itself to the client. To do this, I have to create a key store, a server key, add it to key store, and reference key store from the security realm server identity SSL. So you can see it's here. And last thing that I have to do is to, in undertow subsystem, I have to add HTTPS listener, which references socket binding HTTPS, its default configuration, default socket, security realm that I have just created, and enable HTTP2 set to true. Okay, let's run the server now. Okay, now let's switch to browser. And as you, okay, hopefully you will be able to see it. As you see, I have installed the plugin that shows whether HTTP is enabled. It's enabled in Google. When we move to our local host, it is not available as this is normal interface. Okay, this is wrong. HTTPS local host 8443. Okay, as you see on HTTPS listener, it's working. So those two things, those two configuration changes, and you can use WildFly with HTTP2. Okay, so let's go to another examples. Server suspend. We have provided the ability to suspend the server. Basically what it means is that when server is in suspended mode, it rejects all requests. And during the transition from normal mode to suspended mode, server is rejecting all new requests, but allowing old requests to finish. There is also a timeout parameter. You can specify maximum timeout after which server will move to suspend state anyway. And this feature can be used, for example, in graceful shutdown. In such case, you can suspend the server to make sure that all requests have finished their work, and after that, shut down it. And you are making sure that no request will be interrupted during this process. But it's not the only use case. You can also use it, for example, when you are performing configuration changes, and you have configuration changes that cannot be done on the running server. You can suspend it, do your configuration changes, and then resume the server. And it's worth mentioning that because of the design of the suspend feature, server is restarted immediately, so I'm sorry, is resumed immediately, so it is able to process messages immediately. Okay, so I'm going to. Oh, it seems that I have turned off the console, so let's. I'm going to show it on another example. Okay, it's here. CD Suspend. Okay, I don't have to show it to you because what I have here is the Suspend application is an application that has a servlet in it. Servlet uses asynchronous servlet API to create response, and it does it. It creates using Java EE concurrency utils, creates a job that can sleep for specified amount of time. So we are able to create requests that run arbitrary amount of time. So let's now okay, that's wrong. Now let's move to Wildfly. Okay, we are starting the server. Oh, fortunately, that was some error there. Just okay, I have to look at it myself. Probably I haven't. Okay, let's. Wow. Let's kill. Let's. Why there's. Okay, it has started. I don't know what was the problem. Now let's move to. Okay, so I have the cursor here. It's localhost 8080. Let's see that it works. It works. Now let's move to the Suspend. It will be hard to present. We'll move to the Suspend test and sleep equals 1. So as you see, oh my lord, sorry, Suspend test. Okay, I have to probably. Okay. I have to deploy it. I'll just reconfigure it on my. Just give me a second to reconfigure it in my. Okay. CD examples, CD suspend, CD target, CP suspend war. It should be. Okay, because of the technical difficulties, I will have problems with this example, so I will return to it if I have more time. Now let's go further. Let's move to the presentation. Okay, so we have also performed codebase split. This is the ability to, we have split the code base into two different parts. So we have a Wildfly runtime, which is the base of our server, in different project than the rest of the code. And we provide tooling that facilitate building different server distributions on top of Wildfly runtime. So you can use those tools to create your own distribution of the server. So for example, okay, maybe I will start with our default distribution. Default distributions. We are providing 3 distributions, Wildfly Web, Wildfly Full, and Wildfly-core. And Wildfly-core is basically a runtime. Wildfly Full contains full application server, and Wildfly Web is our new distribution that contains only undertow and the naming subsystems on top of the Wildfly runtime. As a result of that, you are obtaining the distribution that is basically a servlet container with high-performance web server. But it's worth mentioning that it also contains all the features that are provided by Wildfly runtime. Among those features are our high-performance, our management utils, our management tools, which are quite robust and have many abilities, and modular class loading, which enables you to have different class loading domains in your applications. Okay, but there's also, okay, so maybe I'll just say one more thing. An example, because we are providing those 3 distributions, but you have ability to create your own distribution now. So you can use those tools to add new jars, new extensions. And as an example, if you want to have server that will run a REST application, which only use simple REST API, so you would have to use our full distribution. Now you can use those tools, add just JacORB REST subsystem and its dependencies on top of Wildfly servlet distribution, and as a result of that, you will obtain a distribution that enables you to run REST applications, but is only slightly bigger than servlet distribution. Okay, but you have also another possibility of doing that, of doing a similar thing. It's called Wildfly Swarm, our new project. It enables you to build runnable fat jars with embedded Wildfly. So what it means is that you have your normal application, for example, REST application, changing the Maven configuration, and you are able to create runnable fat jar with only those parts of Wildfly that are necessary to you. So basically, the Swarm project wraps your application in those parts of Wildfly that are necessary and creates a runnable jar from it. Maybe this time I will have more luck with an example. Okay. Okay, so I have here okay. That's maybe okay, I have one CD. Okay. Finally, I have here the swarm example. This example basically is a REST application. It's very simple REST application, basic annotations. I wasn't showing it to save time because. And what we have to do, most of the part of this configuration are standard application configuration. You have only to do two things: add swarm plugin to the configuration, and then also add dependency to JacORB, swarm JacORB, to let swarm know that you need to use JacORB. You have also to add additional dependencies, normal for the REST application, but this application has to be added too. Swarm will find out that it probably also needs to use web servlet, but it will find out automatically. You don't have to specify it. So only those two configuration changes to normal REST project. And let's run it. Okay. Okay, I'm barely. Okay, fortunately this time it works better, although maybe I will be able to. Okay, it's very simple REST resource. It only contains one XML. The point of the example was to show that you are able to create runnable fat jar with only those parts of Wildfly that are necessary for you. For example, REST with easiness, with only few configuration changes to Maven configuration, and you are obtaining fat jar. One example usage might be microservices. You may want to create a microservice using those tools. For example, REST microservice. Okay, so let's continue with another topics. Okay. Wildfly as load balancer. You have the ability to use Wildfly as load balancer. There is mode cluster load balancer. This balancer, this balancer has to be configured in HTTP2 server. It has advanced capabilities such as automatic node discovery, ability to load balanced based on metrics sent from servers to load balancer, and lifecycle events between nodes and load balancer. So it's like a mode balancer with more advanced capabilities. Anyway, to this point, you have to, when you want to have domain consisting of this load balancer and other nodes, you have to have Apache server configured too. Now, you have the ability to use it inside Wildfly. Beyond those advantages, you have also ability now to use one tool to configure the entire domain. I say that we have powerful management tools. The example usage of that tool is that you can manage whole domain consisting of many servers on many hosts from one point. And this may be a good use case. You create a load balancer from one place without the need to configure Apache server. All is configured from one place, and you have all the advanced capabilities of mode cluster. What's more, you may also achieve some performance benefit because of Undertow itself, and also because you can use more advanced protocols, like for example HTTP2 between load balancer and the servers. Okay. Also, we have introduced offline CLI. This feature enables you to embed Wildfly process into console and manage it. The sample usage of that feature maybe, for example, when you want to perform some configuration changes, but not exactly want to have your server visible in the domain, in your network. You can just embed the server in management console and perform your changes without having server visible. Okay, just we'll quickly show it. Okay, we are running console. We are unable to connect to a server, it is not running. So we are going to embed server, and we are able to perform the configuration. So let's, for example, go to HTTP subsystem. Let's write some attribute. It equals log system exceptions value to true. So I'm just doing some configuration change, simple. Everything has been done. Server was not present, and if you will look to configuration, oh, it's okay. AGB3. I don't know why. Okay. Once again, AGB. I have some problem. I don't know why he doesn't want to look for. Oh, now AGB3. I have no idea. What is he doing? Anyway. Deployment scanner. Okay, I have no idea why he doesn't want to look for AGB3. Okay, no, sorry. Yeah, I will try. I will find it in. Anyway, if you are going to look at the configuration, you were able to find out that this change has been indeed made to AGB3 subsystem. I'm sorry because I have it on. I don't see it well and just don't know why VI isn't working with me. Anyway, if we are able to find the subsystem configuration, it will be there. Okay, and the last thing that I would like to discuss is okay, the last thing that I would like to discuss is ORB switch. We have switched the ORB code base from OpenJDK ORB, from JacORB to OpenJDK ORB. And OpenJDK ORB is downstream of OpenJDK, so it is maintained as part of OpenJDK virtual machine. So as a result of that, we are expecting more robustness there and more stability. But what's more, many applications use the ORB which are based on the same implementation. The example is reference implementation, Glassfish, and we're expecting better stability here too. Okay, so I only want to show the references also. I have put the references to Wildfly project. You can find all the informations there. Also, 2 GitHub repositories. Wildfly-core is a runtime. Wildfly are the subsystems. Our Twitter, our product. And if you would like to learn something about Wildfly, you can go to Quick Starts page. Okay, so that's all from me. Thank you very much. And so I wish you a good evening here in Krakow and have a good time.